From the KATC Weather Lab, here's Rob's forecast.
Welcome back. The heat goes on, and I'm going to show you something a little bit different here. Everybody likes a scatter plot, well, at least most mathematicians I know. So let's take a look at our temperatures plotted up over the last 30 days. We'll take this over to the weather wall here, and here you go. You're taking our average highs and lows and plotting them up, and you can see we've been in the top right quadrant of warm days, warm nights. We had some cooler nights at times, but notice how everything has been tilted toward the warm. And once you get, you're pushing close to 10 degrees above normal, you're certainly talking a very warm period. And that's what we've had over the last month or so. And this month going down in the record books, more than likely, with just 3 days left, that we're going to see the hottest June on record over a 130-year period. But notice also 2011, 2010, you see the numbers there in the top 5. And why is that? Well, it's because the Gulf of Mexico has been warmer than the 20th century average. It's 3 to 4 degrees warmer now than it was 30 or 40 years ago. And why is that? Well, the atmosphere is hotter when the oceans absorb that extra heat. It's all about climate. We're not going to get into the details, but in this day and age, we can find attribution to climate that we couldn't do mathematically 30 years ago. So something interesting anyway. It's not creating the heat wave, but it's on the bus. Climate is an influencer on our heat right now. And you can see around this big hot ridge of high pressure, we're seeing showers and storms, but they're getting shielded away from Acadiana and most of Louisiana. In fact, we had some pretty good looking convection earlier today across the northeastern part of the state. Things have certainly quieted down, and the action that was severe earlier is running into the ridge of high pressure down toward the Gulf of Mexico, more stable air, so those showers diminishing, and all is quiet on Power Doppler 3 this evening. So here's the big picture with the latest on the heat advisories and warnings. National Weather Service paring back the excessive heat warning for portions of Acadiana. Heat advisory for most of us. Lafayette, St. Landry of Voiles Parish, Upper St. Martin Parish on eastward in an excessive heat warning. That's for heat indices exceeding 113, getting into the 114, 116 range, and you can get around 118, especially around bodies of water. There's no wind, especially the Chafalaya Swamp or any fairly decent sized body of water that doesn't have a breeze on, and that's going to be a key as well. Not as much of a breeze over the next couple of days, so that those temperatures are just only going to get hotter. So we see our storms diminishing off to the north and east of us. High pressure at the surface down into the Pacific. We have a new tropical storm. It's Adrian out here in the Pacific. It'll eventually become a hurricane, but should move harmlessly out to sea. Meanwhile, in the Atlantic Basin, relatively quiet. The remnants of Cindy kind of sticking around, and we do think we might see tail end of a tropical wave head toward the Gulf of Mexico toward the latter part of next week, which could help to add to our rain chances. We're not expecting any tropical developments, and the remnants of Cindy, National Hurricane Center still keeping a low-end chance of this possibly redeveloping, but you can see right now it's just a naked inverted trough here, not much convection with it. So going back on this date, back in June of 1957, this is the first radar image, by the way, of a hurricane. Newly installed radar in Galveston picked up on Hurricane Audrey. The National Weather Service in Louisiana didn't get to see this, and you can see a big, nasty convective band across Acadiana. That produced 92-mile-an-hour wind gusts out at the airport. In fact, that's the highest wind gust ever reported out at the airport, even with the hyperactivity of hurricanes we've seen over the last 10 years or so. Audrey coming ashore, accelerating as a Category 3, close to a 4, and was responsible for at least 500 fatalities. Most folks went to bed that night thinking they could get out the next day, only to wake up in the middle of the night in the storm surge and unfortunately some watery death. So here we go as we look at our forecast. It's quiet, generally fair skies. We'll be watching the wind direction. If it turns more westerly at times, we're going to get over or near 100, and we'll probably see that come Thursday going into Friday. The HER model going for 100 degrees for Thursday afternoon, and we're going to buy into that as well. Temperatures tonight near 84 the low. Tomorrow back into the upper 90s, and that heat index is going to be up there. Once again, heat indices getting into the 105 to 112 range in spots. And again, main time of the day, you want to be indoors from 11 a.m. on. That's when we have those high heat indices, and from 1 to about 7 we'll be at 109 or better, so keep that in mind. And as we move forward, hopefully some drier air down the line. 79 the low tonight, so we'll we'll take that and run. Sultry night overall. And then for tomorrow, mostly sunny day, more big heat, less of a breeze, and you're going to feel every bit of that 98 or 99 degrees. Models have been kind of a little high on the numbers, but we'll still go with them for right now. Right near 100 through the weekend, early next week. Thereafter, though, rain chances come back into the forecast, and that should ease our temperatures back closer to normal mid to late next week. That's it for weather for now. We're going to have more coming up right after the break.